Okay, today we're looking at a brood box just after coming out of winter. This is April. We're concerned that there may be a drone layer or an infertile queen. Okay, so we're just going to smoke the hive first of all. And what we're going to do here is we're going to look for presence of drones and also the presence for the queen. And we'll do that by shaking the bees through a queen excluder into a fresh box. Any drones and queen that are present should be retained in the queen excluder. We set up a super below actually with frames, a queen excluder and a brood box, and we're going to shake the bees through this into this brood box rather, and all but the drones, any drones and queens should be able to go through. Now you can see our records from the winter. We've had insulation on, and below you'll see that we had a patty and fondant. The fondant's been on over Christmas and the patty went on recently. We'll just look into this patty and fondant, and we lift some up, you can see that they have been eating a little bit of both. We made a hole through the fondant just onto the patty just to make sure that they had access. The first thing to do is to lift this crown board and just to check underneath in case there's a queen, although it's very unlikely. We're going to go into the frames now and take them out one by one. You can see there's not much activity, some bees in the center here, and we'll just continue. We've already taken a frame out, as you see, and that gives us some space. We can now move the other frames back. We were in here on Sunday, so I'm able to do this fairly quickly without knowing that I won't disturb any brood or bees. These frames are empty in terms of brood. And this is the first frame. You can see that it's got bees on it. There's no larvae at all, but just bees. No stores either, which is important to note. Now you can see this frame has drone brood on it. If we look at the other side, you can see this also only has drone brood. You can see there's an old punctured queen cell here. It's dried up and there's no larvae inside, so that no queen can arise from there. Since we've been through this brood box on Sunday, we know that that's actually the last of the brood. So I'm just going to go through and show that there's no more brood and that there's also no stores here. And then we'll shake the bees out. Given there's no sign of brood and there's hardly any bees, the suggestion here is that the queen is dead or gone. The pheromones have stopped being produced, and that's allowed the laying workers to develop their ovaries and to start laying. Now, because they can't mate, they can only lay drone brood. Because there's so few bees here and such little larvae, there's little point in shaking it through the queen excluder, so we'll just go and shake the bees out distant from the hive so they won't return. Give them a shake. One point that's worth noting is that a week ago there were larvae here. However, we wouldn't have been able to tell that they would only form drone brood at that stage. Now we're going to go through. This is the only other frame that has bees on it, and you'll note that actually the bees are drone bees, and there's very little worker bee. Okay, I'm going to shake this out now. Okay, that's them up. So for the remainder of these frames, we can sterilize them and disinfect them with acetic acid, for example. And as we go through them, we can check just to make sure there's no signs of disease. Now, what we're doing here, obviously, is shaking off the excess bees first of all. And they hopefully will go and find a new home. Once sterilised, these frames can be used for raising new brood or for making nukes. Now we quickly look inside here, you can see what's left, just drones. Other bees are collecting on the outside of the hive. So we're going to shake off the excess bees here because there could be the drone layers could be present here. That's the laying workers. Now we're on the floor, which was under the hive here. You can see what's been deposited. You can see the white there is chalkboard, and we have some dead bees. So again, we'd have to shake those off and clean up the frame, disinfect it, and it can be used for a hive in the future. Now here we have the roller board underneath. You can see all the very fine droppings, which indicated that there was a live, active hive of bees in here. But obviously no more. We'll just take those over to shake them out. Shake off the debris. Now, normally we would use a fresh tool for each hive, but since this hive is dead here, and we know that we're only looking at 2 hives which have only got drones in them, I'll probably reuse the same tool for the moment. But just to highlight, it's a good practice to change tool in between hives.